The Night is Short, Walk On Girl is about a young girl, but I say young, I imagine she's probably in college, who really likes drinking, and at a bar, she meets a bunch of other just people, and they sort of go on a bit of a crazy bender that lasts an improbable amount of time, because it lasts so long that they do the crazy bender, then they go to a school festival, then in the school festival, everyone gets sick, and then the main girl ends up visiting everyone who got sick at the school festival, and somehow all of this occurs in a single night. So basically, there's only 2 days that occur in this entire movie, and the last day is basically 2 minutes long. So yeah, an improbably long night for a movie that's title is The Night is Short, but I digress. It's also about a senpai who has a crush on her, and his method for basically getting with her is to just stalk her, and then it turns out that she really likes this children's book, so he tries to get a copy of that children's book to impress her with just like a bit of serendipity. Now, this movie is sort of marketed as a romance and a comedy, and I will say this, I didn't necessarily find the movie particularly funny, but I'm not going to fault the movie for that because I think it has other things going for it. I will say its romantic aspects are actually kind of weak. The main couple has very little chemistry, and by the end of the movie, honestly, at no part of the movie did I legitimately care if the main two got together. Now, there is a guy in the movie who fell in love with a girl when an apple fell on his head at the same time an apple fell on her head because someone dropped a bunch of apples above them. And so he has vowed never to change his underwear until he meets her. And he also ends up setting up a play at the school in order to try and meet her. And so the underclassman, I think she's an underclassman, who ends up working with him and helping him set up this play has a crush on him. And I found myself more invested in their romance than I did the romance of the main couple. But I will say that a big bulk of this movie is sort of the girl going on her drinking bender. And the movie makes it clear that this girl can just put on an basically endless amount of alcohol. Like, she's chugging booze the entire night. She's not even tipsy by the end of it. And all of her friends and all of the expert drinkers she's hanging with that night are just completely shit-faced by the end of it. She is absolutely unfazed. She's basically invincible because everyone else gets sick and she's also not sick. So yeah, anyway. She ends up going on these shenanigans that are usually accompanied with, like, meeting the same characters that the guy does, her drinking alcohol, and he is, like, in a parallel journey where he meets similar characters, but in a different scenario, or has to perform similar tasks to the one she is. So there's some, like, good paralleling between the two characters, and the events are kind of interesting, and this movie has a very charming art style. It's very simplistic, but in like a sort of interesting children's book kind of way, which I think is probably what they're going for. The movie delves a lot into abstraction for a lot of the shots, such as when the main characters are flying or when the main girl is walking through a windy street and you see cars getting blown away past her, to more designed to convey the sense of emotion and feeling of the scene rather than any sort of like literal meaning to the scene. And it has the frantic energy of like a 70s anime. So there's actually a lot to appreciate with this movie, and I did kind of enjoy it. Apparently, this is a sort of spin-off of Tatami Galaxy, and it might surprise you to find out that I've never actually gotten around to watching Tatami Galaxy, but I will have to say that if this is a spin-off of it, it sells it pretty damn well, and I might have to check it out sometime in the near-ish future. I can't promise anytime soon. But yeah, The Night is Short, Walk On Girl was actually a pretty good watch, and I would definitely recommend it. Twitch and Discord in the description. I've been Sacrobolic. Your Envoy of Hope. Bye-bye.